and it multiplied. In God's mathematics, it's multiplication. I repeat that. In God's mathematics, it's multiplication. That there were only 5 pieces of mandasi, not the bread, pieces. Even ndasi bitano higa. Maybe zubire ngina to mwana ya jikoni. But from there, wonders were done. Nakina there as a sabi I don't know what gave matter. And these disciples, the 12 disciples were there, seated with Jesus. And they saw the people on the ground. And they told them, take. And after they have eaten, the leftovers, the remainder, whatever the pieces which were dropping, Jesus said, collect them. And it was able to add up to 12 big baskets. Communication and relationship. Yes, even if you forget what I'm saying today, but don't forget those 2 words. Interpersonal relationship and the communication. Here is Andrew, who is never known to be talkative, but has done the following. That Andrew had one character which I admire. He was a sweet talker to kids. He would talk to anybody, especially the young ones. He was able to interact with them. He was able to talk with them. He had a relationship, interpersonal relationship, one-on-one. I don't know how many boys he met that day, or how many girls he met that day, or old people, but they were told he came across one boy out of the 5,000. Let me assume there were 5,000 men. Let me also assume there were 5,000 children. Let me also assume there were 5,000 women, over 15,000 people. But this young man, in the name of Andrew, a brother of Simon Peter, had good communication. He was a good, sweet talker, meaning he had done his good research. While Peter, his brother, was busy with the master arguing and talking issues, Andrew's brother was on a research mission, fact-finding. Who are we having? What are they having? Are they after the Messiah? While other people were looking for Jesus because they needed food, which he had given them the other day. But this one had carried his own food. I don't know whether I'm communicating to somebody. But here is a point that the interpersonal has 2 facts, relationship and the communication. And Andrew had mastered that. He went through the children, but he was able to discover there is a boy who has 5 loaves and 2 fish. Sometimes you can call it the fishes, depending where you learn your English from, whether it's Britain, oriented, or American. Aside with that, here is Andrew, the interceptor of communication. That's why I say there are things which were there in the 1st century. If we uphold them, we bring them to today, there will be no communication breakdown. There will be no breakdown or relationships which will be breaking. In the 21st century, if there is anything which is having a problem, it's communication. Number 2, it's relationship. Many youths, their relationship with their peer groups, their comrade, name them, is not well. It is sour. It's not occurring well. But if they will go to Andrew, they will find those virtues. They will find those characters. They will find those traits. They will find those behavior. That you need to have good communication so that you can keep up the relationship. Sometimes it's not how much money you have. It's not how much you don't have. It is the relationship. in the 21st century? My youths, how many relationships have broken because of your communication? Sometimes with those of us who are old enough, sometimes we are guiding young men and young women how to get married. But here came a situation that the one man wanted, the young man wanted to marry. And they found a girl whom they accepted to marry. But on the way, he introduces the one who was supposed to be his best man. And they introduced him to her and said, this is going to be my wife. And the young man, who was supposed to be the best man for this young man, alipendua mbao, he went ahead and made sure that the relationship doesn't stay. True to his words, true to his thinking, and the manipulation, the relationship had to go sour. He went to the young lady and said, you mean you have accepted X, Y, Z to be your husband? Yes. This is his ABC of life. The girl didn't do her good research, as this young man, Andrew, did. Out of 5,000 children, he knew there is one who has food. This young man whom I was counseling came and said, it's no longer that the center can hold. We need to part as friends, but we will never get married. I went an extra mile and told them it's not good, just keep moving. The girl said, no, by reason that I was given X, Y, Z, I will not do it. So the lady refused. At the end of the day, the center could not hold. The young man went to his home, the young lady went to his home. 3 months down the line, same girl come now with a different man that they want now to make a relationship. As all the people, we take all the horn and we advise it. At the end of the day, they got married. And when the former boyfriend discovered that his best man had a mependua mbao, that he wanted this girl for marriage, he also went to his nose and did good research. Now here is where we have documentation of the mind. So some of us in this world, we are known through our brothers. Some of us are known through our sisters. Some of us are known through our parents. That's good. Maybe your parents' name can sell. Maybe your brother's name can sell. Maybe your sister's name can sell, meaning it can put you on the table. Regardless of where you have come from and where you are, there is one thing. Some of us known through our relatives. You have never seen somebody identifying oneself with a madman or a mad woman. All said and done. What I want to put across is that once you have been told something, think about it. Communication and relationship is built on character, is built on behavior, is built on action, is built on words we speak. And this one gives our direction. And from the direction, it must tell us the destiny, where we will stop. The relationship of this young man is stopped. Here is another young man who got married. So this young man also did the unthinkable. He came to this young girl and said, you refuse to marry me, but because you have taken this one as your husband, I tell you, tonight I will confirm you will see X, Y, Z in your house. And because you are living in these 30 houses, so in the evening, this young man has understood the family where this girl was married. He came with a small cat, which was not very old enough, but you can make sound. It's about 4 or 5 weeks old. So it is very tender, it doesn't know how to walk, but it can make sound. So this young man took this cat, and because when it's young and when you move around, it will not make noise. Until when it is settled, it will make noise. This man has done research, that's what I'm told. This mzee who's now married. This bestman who was snatched the wife or the woman had told this woman that where you went is more than what you think. But today, tonight you will see it. Before long, when they were eating in the evening around 7 before 8, this young man came across and they greeted them. And they went to where we call it the hut where the man was married. And while he was passing around, he had to throw that cat into the house. I don't know where they dropped it. Whatever method he used, I don't know. But it was now inside the house. He went. When this young married couples came to their room, this lady confirmed what he was told. When he found that cat making noise, the only things he did is to pack and go. This young man wanted to explain, but this lady said, I've confirmed. Not knowing communication builds relationship. Remember, Andrew was a professional fisherman. He was not good in anything. I don't know your profession. I don't know which line you have taken. But the one thing which comes across, interpersonal relationship, which is built on communication, can produce many things. It can make the relationship to continue or break out. I don't know whether you have got what I'm saying. This Andrew was a professional fisherman, and he knew what to do with the fishing. But here is Jesus telling them, and he's telling you in the 21st century. I'm not saying you don't go back to school. I don't say you don't go back to college. You can do the learning. But there is one thing that my Savior and your Savior needs from you, that we fish men into the boat of Jesus. That we are born for a purpose. Somebody said this. As you see a family, that's how the man thinks. And it's being supported by the wife. The children are spectators. In the 21st century, so as the man thinketh, so he see. As the man sees things, that's how he does his application. Young boys and young men, I'm putting this one across, and I want to emphasize that you are born for a purpose. Not to be a problematic girl or a problematic boy in your family. I want you to do the other way around. You are a solution to the problems in your family. This young man had to take the parent. This young girl had to take the parent through the narrow and hectic method of being understood that today, as I'm talking, alcohol and drugs abuse are rampant. And I'm using the word rampant in our lie learning institution. But in this lie learning institution, our young youths are introduced into this when they are in the lower learning institute, which are a primary. Today we call them CPC, comprehensive schools. This is where the devil is capturing our boys and girls for drug misuse and abuse. I'm using the word use and abuse because all of us at one time we may use drugs. But now I'm saying we may misuse drug abuse. I've gone through some research which is not documented, but here are the facts. Our boys and girls know how to test changa and these hard substances in lower learning schools, primary, comprehensive schools. So when they come to secondary schools and the colleges and the universities, they have already graduated by taking over drugs and alcohol. Woe unto us, we don't have a generation. Especially for drugs and abuse. Our girls are users. Yes, parents, we may be undermined, I may not be able to accept it, but the truth is, we have no relationship with our boys and the girls. We do not communicate, and that's why we're living in two worlds, although we are staying in the same house. This is your blood, but you don't know one another because we are not having communication. We don't understand our boys. We don't understand our girls. We may be sleeping under one roof. We may be using one door. We may be having worship in our homes. We may do all of what it takes for one to be a Christian. But you are dealing with strangers in your house. My dear parents, this is an assignment, whether you do it or not. But the bus will stop at you. How many times have you done what we call surprise check and inspection of the rooms where your girls and the boys are sleeping? Some of us are so scared that we don't want to see the rooms where our girls are staying, especially the men. Or sometimes we who are men, we don't want to see the boys who want to us, because the communication is more than what you think. Yes, a friend of mine told me he didn't believe one night when he saw there was light from the other room. You know, I'm talking in town, where we say all the boys, all the girls, all the parents are staying in one house, but the different rooms. And this Muse was suspicious. What is really going on? It's almost midnight. It's almost going to 1 in the morning, but there is some light on the other side. And I don't have a candidate because it was December. Kambia mama watoto, hey, madam, can you wake up? Can you check what's happening in the girls' compound? In the girls' room, that's what I call girls' compound. When the mom went, she didn't believe her eyes. So the only things he did, after opening the door, she became a statue. She was glancing inside, she was looking inside and peeping out to see whether the man will come through the corridor. She stayed there for 1 minute, second minute, third minute. No, the Mzee became patient. What is it? So when the Mzee came, who is the husband, found the woman looking at the corridor and looking at the girls' compound inside there. The Mzee was suspicious, he just walked on, came. And the woman just ushered him in. And behold, they didn't believe what they saw. They are beautiful girls. One of them was sleeping with what we call earphones. And the phone which was before her, and another one will not comprehend. The most expensive phone, over 70 to 100,000. And they were two. And beside this girl was a big suitcase of clothes they have never gone to the market to buy in the name of jeans and long trousers. And this girl was dressed in one of the suits, very expensive. I don't know, my young girls, my young boys, go slow. Can you allow your parents to live one more day? It was a surprise. Everybody was tongue-tied. But because the girl was dressed well and she was not naked, The mzee had to touch her daughter and say, Mom, auntie, whatever name you call her, wake up. And you know, it's during the night, they was listening to good music. So even the movement within the house, he didn't get it. He was in her own world, listening to beautiful music because he had put on the earphones. And she didn't remember putting off the lights. So when she opened her eyes, she was surprised to see the father before her. At the same time, next to him was the mother. And they were looking at her with the mercies on their face. And behold, she knew what's going on. Hell has broken loose. Here is my father. Here is my mother. The mother had to ask her one question. My dear young girl, when did you start having this life? Sometimes when we talk here, we think we are exaggerating. Them said, Mama Watoto, that's not a question. Let me clear this one. Get that? Let me clear this one before heaven. Let me clear this one. So the Moses went out very fast. The mother followed. Now here is now the mother confused. The husband has now emotions has worn out. The girl is here. She had to take the girl by the hand, and she has to take the husband by the hand, and she become now the mediator. My husband, before you clear, can we get the story fast? Because sometimes it's good to have a story so that even if my in-laws, who are my brothers and sisters, come to you, you say exactly that's what it is. Thank God them say listen and said, can you tell us the story? And now they had to move because there was a lot of commotion. And the others who were sleeping had to wake up. And it was almost 1 in the morning. So the instruction was, march to Zion, which is now the sitting room. Because you know how the girls' compound look. So all the girls were waken up without the pre-arrangements, and they were taken to the sitting room. They had to listen to the story. My dear young girls, my dear young boys, communication and relationship. This Andrew had done good documentation. Yes, we have read. Andrew said there is a young boy with 5 belly of bread and 2 fish. But even if this one is food, will it be enough for the 5,000 men without counting women and men? Today, I'm exploring the character of Andrew, a brother to Simeon Peter, that he had 2 traits, he had 2 characters. He had a behavior that which had to bring in the personal. That he knew what is relationship and the communication. He was a good sweet talker, especially to the young ones. So I'm appealing this afternoon to the young boys and the girls. Can we have mercy on our parents? Remember, Andrew was a fisherman. He had not taken any provision. This young man called Andrew, his brother Peter was crucified his head down. But Andrew died a most dangerous death by being roasted in the Far East, that they say, which is present Russia, where he had gone to preach the Jesus he has never met. When Jesus comes to your life will never be the same. Challenges we are having with the youth in the 21st century. It rotates among the 4. If it's not a political issue, it can be educational, which is academics. Or it may be socio-economical. And that's why our young boys our young girls, the youths, our beloved one, are being enticed to enter into questionable relationships. Sometimes I do counsel the young ones. Yes, nimeona hii dunia miaka michache kidogo. But that experience is not everything, but from there I can learn something, or I can tell some people one thing or another. I don't know whether I'm communicating, but this one I want to bring across. Why our young girls, why our young boys going and being lured into drugs and drug abuse? Where are they becoming more use of that? One friend of mine said, I cannot remember where, but in the course of yesterday week, he said lying has become the norms of our life today. We don't say the truth. Hiyo nilimdanganya tu nipitie. Hiyo ni kidogo hawezi jua. And that's exactly what is happening in the world today. That our boys, our girls can cheat a little. And that's why we have broken relationship, especially in marriage. Our boys and the girls, because they like cheating, small cheating, so that I can pass over, small cheating, so that I can achieve my goals. And even when they are married, they don't know that when they are cheating, their spouse, they are inviting death. Yes. One day, I was approached by two young couples, and each was accusing one another that he always cheats me and I forgive him. She also cheats me and I forgive her. He always cheats me. I said, what is this cheating you are saying? I said, you know, when you were being brought up, we have found that cheating, lying has become a norm. And it has now created the relationship to go sour. Especially those who are married. You are getting me what I'm saying. You are lying to your spouse. You are lying to your partner. You are lying to your husband. You are lying to your wife. Small things. Because you have been used to do it. So, it's no longer men who are asking their wives, where are you from? It's now women asking their husband, where have you been? Remember, the best liar we have was found in the book of Genesis, in the name of Jacob. He cheated his brother Esau, and from there he was also cheated. And from the cheating which he was lying, it caused his wife to die, the mother to Joseph and Benjamin. Because he also lied to her father. What am I saying? Small things. Small lying can even break a relationship. Don't know whether you are getting what I'm saying. But you will have the character of Andrew, a brother to Simon Peter, who knew communication and relationship as interpersonal. He had to go far. When everybody in the mountain didn't know where to get the food, Andrew had already identified a young man who had the food. My message is this. Can we identify our problems? And can we be part of a solution, but not part of a problem? The mistake we have is that many of us, including me, we are a part and a parcel of the present problems we have. If all men and women will be faithful, I don't think we will have venereal diseases. I repeat, if all youths and young men will be faithful to that day, and if all we, young, old and young, be faithful to our partners, I don't know whether we will have venereal diseases. When I mean those venereal diseases, these are associated with the sex and the sex illicities. I don't know whether we will have those drugs for those while doing the opposite. Lying is a small thing. How many men, how many women have we put to the grave because of small lying? Nilidanganya bwana yangu, nikamaliza nikapata do. I cheated my wife, I finished and I did X, Y, Z. But from there, you are digging your own grave. And you will never go alone. You will go with your partner. And if that partner is not also faithful, you will go with another partner. Communication, relationship. If we will uphold the traits, the character of Andrew, a man who was not known in the Bible very clearly among the 12 disciples, I think we will go very far. The message is clear, as the day is clear, that we need to have good relationship. We have to be good virtues. In leadership, people are just lying to achieve their own ends. And that's why some of our CEO, the chief executive officers, he has no problem to append a signature, even if it means they are stealing over 1 million, even not a billion. Name it. Just lying, a simple thing, can bring a company down. A simple thing can bring an institution down. And even our institution will start falling, including the marriage, including our schools, including our what. At the end of the day, we will have a fallen country. And after it all, we will have a fallen world. Small things matter. I don't know what was in the mind. There's a man called Solomon, one of the wisest men of the century. When he was writing the Songs of Solomon, sometimes we say Songs of Songs. And he said in chapter 2, verse 15, hold on, catch me, the little fox, which destroy my grapes. Small fox. They just eat the roots. They don't take off the root fruits. They just go and they pinch. And they just cut the grapes from the stem. And the whole system is broken. That's why I was saying, Buatere webike, ebibi go salie mesabi. Ebi webike, egobi kobutora, emeli, no mote, egaro moto moguma. You know when you are attached, and when you are crying, when you talk in your mother tongue, you think you have spoken it well. You want to discover when somebody is emotionally moved, he cries in his mother tongue. That's why we don't have father tongue. Maybe these foreign languages are a father tongue. I'm saying and I'm crying. Communication. Solomon the small fox which destroys. It is with the heavy heart that even in the 21st century, after we have gone to school, after we have gone to colleges, after we have become educated, after we have become what you call Chense, that we cannot control ourselves, especially on communication. What are the boys and the girls doing on a smartphone from 9 until almost morning? It's just communication. And by doing so, they are breaking a relationship. When he is supposed to be in class, he goes there but he's sleeping because he wasted most of the time during the night. Instead of sleeping, was chatting. And when he's supposed to be in class or a theater hall to listen to instruction, he's busy sleeping or dozing. Meaning he's losing both sides. At the night he didn't get sleep. During the day he's not getting sleep and he's not getting what he went there for. Interpersonal relationship. Communication. What else do you want me to say? Yes, in the 21st century, I wish we could have more Andrews who are known by the brother's name. Andrew, a brother to Simeon and Peter. Whatever reason you are known. There are some names you speak in Kenya and the people know who you are. Some of us may not even go to be an MC because my family name is not known in a community, in my village. But here is Andrew, a brother to Simon Peter, who was the intellect, who was what it takes to stand up for almost more than 3 years. He only spoke this statement, Lord, there is a boy who has 5 loaves and 2 fish, but what will this one do to this multitude? And because of that, because my God is a God of multiplication, Jesus used that one and said, bring that one yonder. And they fed over 5,000 men without counting women and men. My application is, maybe you are the only one who will save 5,000 men who were supposed to perish without counting women and children. Maybe you are the only one who will save Kenya. Maybe you are the only one who will talk and the whole world will put on fire. What we were witnessing in the Middle East is because we are missing one man to talk to the Prime Minister of Israel. We are missing one man who can talk to the president in Russia. We are missing one man who can talk to the president of Ukraine, and we will not have the fighting. Maybe you are the person and you are never known. My message this afternoon, communication can destroy the country. Communication can destroy a family. Communication can destroy an individual. And the communication may destroy even the whole world. When you are before the judge, it's not how much you dress, it's what you talk matters. And how you present your message. What am I saying? Sometimes somebody may have a good message, but the way you present the message may be watered down. The message this afternoon, communication, can put the whole world in the fire. In a big forest, we don't need a lot of matchbox. We need only one matchbox to be lit, and the whole forest will be in the fire. So we need one person to put the fire off. Why I wish you will be the one, like Andrew, that you have the character of good communication. You have a character of good relationship, of a character of a sweet talker, of a character of a good researcher, that out of over 5,000, you can identify there is one boy. What's that? Through that, yes, you may be your profession. This man, Andrew, was a fisherman. But when it came, he's the only one who saved. Jesus, when he needed him most, you are the only one in the family who can change the matrix. You are the only one in your county who can change the matrix. Maybe you are the only one Kenya needs. How do I wish we have more Andrews, Simon brothers. Remember, he's not known as Andrew, but he's known because of his brother who is talkative. While Peter was thinking what to answer, his brother had an answer. So when everybody is thinking of an answer, maybe you are the only one who has an answer. May the Lord bless you. Until next week, same session, same person. God bless you. Wish you well.